President Mohammad Shahabuddin has called upon all, irrespective of caste and creed, to work for welfare of the country and the people. He made the call while exchanging greetings with the Buddhist community members at Bongo Bhavan this afternoon on the occasion of the Buddha Purnima, the greatest religious festival of the Buddhists. The President also greeted the members of the Buddhist community as well as the countrymen.
আমি বাংলাদেশ সহ বিশ্বের সকল বৌদ্ধ ধর্মাবলম্বীকে জানাই মৈত্রীময় শুভেচ্ছা। বিশ্বের সকল বৌদ্ধ ধর্মাবলম্বীকে জানাই মৈত্রীময় শুভেচ্ছা ও অভিনন্দন। আজ বিশ্বের বহু স্থানে মানবাধিকার ভুলণ্ঠিত হচ্ছে। দেশে দেশে যুদ্ধ, বিশ্ব অর্থনীতিকে ভারসাম্য করে বিশ্বের বিভিন্ন দেশের আর্থসামাজিক খাতেও নেতিবাচক প্রভাব পড়েছে। সেই সময় আমাদের থেকে বঞ্চিত না হয় সেদিকে লক্ষ্য রাখতে হবে। আমি আশা করব বাংলাদেশ বুদ্ধদেবের সুমহান শিক্ষা ও আদর্শকে সবার মাঝে ছড়িয়ে দিবেন।
President Mohammad Shahabuddin and his wife Dr. Rebecca Sultana hosted a reception for the members of Buddhist community marking the Buddha Purnima. Religious Affairs Minister Muhammad Faridul Haq Khan, State Minister for Chattogram Hill Tracts Gujendrulal Tripura and secretaries to the President were present. President Mohammad Shahabuddin and his wife Dr. Rebecca Sultana welcomed the invited guests and exchanged greetings with them. Leaders of Buddhist community, foreign diplomats and heads of the international agencies in Bangladesh and distinguished personalities of Buddhist community attended the reception. Meanwhile, the country's Buddhist community are celebrating the day with due religious festivities. Marking the day, all Buddhist temples across the country, including Dhaka, have performed different rituals such as offering prayers, taking out processions and discussions. Buddha Purnima is very significant to the Buddhist community across the globe, celebrated as per the birthday of Gautam Buddha, the founder of Buddhism. On the occasion of Buddha Purnima, Bangladesh Bodho Sanskritik Porishad organized a procession and a harmony festival in the capital Shahbag today. Religious Affairs Minister Muhammad Faridul Haq Khan inaugurated it. Prime Minister's Special Assistant and Awami League Office Secretary Barrister Biplab Borua, Bangladesh Bodho Sanskritik Porishad President Professor Dr. Uttam Kumar Borua, among others, were present. The procession that started from Shahbag ended at the TSC intersection in Dhaka University. Speaking on the occasion, the Religious Affairs Minister called upon all to work together by following the philosophy and life of the great Gautam Buddha to ensure peace in the society and betterment of the country. On the occasion, President Mohammad Shahabuddin and Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina greeted the Buddhist community. The day was a public holiday. Jatiyo সংসদ Speaker Dr. Shirin Sharmin Chaudhry said after the independence, father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman patronized the initiative to establish the USEP profession-based university to ensure technical education and decent employment for the poor and underprivileged children. She said this at a function marking 50 years of the USEP at Bangamata Sheikh Fazilatun-Nesa Mujib Convention Hall at Shahbag in the capital today. USEP Bangladesh's chairman, Dr. Muhammad Alauddin, presided over the function. Executive Director and Prime Minister's former Principal Secretary, Dr. Muhammad Abdul Karim, gave the welcome speech. Canadian High Commissioner to Bangladesh, Lily Nichols, and State Minister for Labour and Employment, Mohammad Nazrul Islam Chaudhry, were present. Speaker Dr. Shirin Sharmin Chaudhry said Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has been working for the progress and protection of children as well as the development of human resources. Lawmaker from Jhenaidah 4 constituency Anwar Azim was killed in Kolkata, police said. However, his body has not yet been recovered. Meanwhile, Home Minister Asaduzzahman Khan said he was killed in a planned way in Kolkata's New Town. Efforts are on to find out those involved in the murder of Anwar Azim, he added.
জিজ্ঞাসাবাদ হলে আমরা তো বলছি আমরা তদন্তের স্বার্থে অনেক কিছুই এখন আমরা বলতে পারছি না আমরা খুব পজিটিভ ওয়েতে তদন্ত চলছে এবং আমরা সুনিশ্চিত যারা যারা এই খুনের সঙ্গে জড়িত তাদের উদ্দেশ্য কি ছিল আমরা সুনিশ্চিত সেগুলো আপনাদের প্রকাশ করতে পারব
Anwar Azim went to Kolkata on May the 11th for treatment. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina expressed deep shock and sorrow at the death of Anwar Azim, lawmaker and president of Kaliganj Upazila Awami League in Jhenaidah. The Prime Minister prayed for eternal peace of the departed soul and conveyed profound sympathy to the bereaved family members. Awami League General Secretary and Road Transport and Bridges Minister Obaidul Qadir said there is confusion over disappearance of Member of Parliament for Jhenaidah 4 constituency who was brutally killed in India. Comments of BNP Secretary General blaming a friendly country is not appropriate, he added. Obaidul Qadir said this while addressing a meeting at the central office of Awami League today. Awami League Subcommittee on Cultural Affairs organised the meeting on the journey of smart Bangladesh enriched with cultural diversity.
ধরে তাকে নিয়ে একটা ধোঁয়াশ আছে তার পরিবার কেউ জানে না পরিবার জানে চিকিৎসার জন্য ভারতে যাচ্ছে এমপি তো যখন চিকিৎসার জন্য যান তিনি তো আর ভারত সরকারকে জানিয়ে যান কাজে নিরাপত্তার ব্যাপারটা তখনই সেভাবে দেখাও তখন সেখানকার অ্যাপ্রোপ্রিয়েট অথরিটিকে জানিয়ে যদি কেউ যায় ফখরুল সাহেব বলছেন বন্ধু রাষ্ট্রে গিয়ে নিরাপদ থাকে না কিন্তু বন্ধু আপনাদের যদি শত্রু রাষ্ট্র তো সেখানে সালাউদ্দিন আপনাদের এমপি এতদিন নিরাপদে কেমন
The Road Transport and Bridges Minister said Awami League government does not bother about the sanction imposed by those who deny Israeli genocide at Gaza in Palestine.
এখন ইসরায়েলের প্রধানমন্ত্রী নেতানিয়াহু যা করছে সেটা তো হিটলারের চেয়েও ভয়াবহ কিভাবে শিশুদের টার্গেট করে হত্যা করে এটা কি গণহত্যা নয় যারা ইসরায়েলকে নেতানিয়াহুকে বলে ইসরায়েল ইজ নট কমিটিং এনি জেনোসাইড আমেরিকার প্রেসিডেন্ট তো যারা গণহত্যাকে অস্বীকার তারা আমাদের কাকে নিষেধাজ্ঞা দিল ভিসা নীতি প্রয়োগ করলো সেটা নিয়ে আমাদের কোনো মাথা ব্যথা
Presided over by Chairman of the Subcommittee, Ataur Rahman, the meeting was also attended by Cultural Affairs Secretary of Awami League, Ashim Kumar Ukil, State Minister for Cultural Affairs, Nahid Izhar Khan, former State Minister, K.M. Khalid, and Member of Parliament, Akhtar Firdaus. Foreign Minister and Awami League Joint General Secretary, Dr. Hassan Mahmood said the killing of lawmaker Anwar Azim is very unfortunate and shocking. The issue is being investigated, he added. The minister said this in response to queries from journalists after addressing the 24th National Renewable Energy Conference at Senate Building of Dhaka University today.
MP Anwar সাহেবের হত্যাকাণ্ডটা অত্যন্ত দুঃখজনক মর্মান্তিক অনভিপ্রেত হত্যাকাণ্ডের মূল হোতাকে এবং কয়েকজনকে গ্রেফতার করা হয়েছে ডিবি গ্রেফতার করেছে এবং কলকাতা পুলিশও দুজনকে গ্রেফতার করেছে তদন্ত চলছে কিভাবে এই হত্যাকাণ্ড ঘটানো হয়েছে আমরা আমাদের মিশনের মাধ্যমে খোঁজ রাখছি এবং মিশন কলকাতা পুলিশের সাথে নিয়মিত যোগাযোগ রাখছে। আমাদের হ্যান্ড থেকে স্বরাষ্ট্র মন্ত্রণালয়ের মাধ্যমে যোগাযোগ রাখা হয়েছে। তো সুতরাং বিষয়টি তদন্তাধীন।
The Institute of Energy and Green Take Foundation Bangladesh organized it. Earlier, speaking at the conference as chief guest, Dr. Hassan Mahmood said Bangladesh is not emitting high volume of carbon, but it is a victim of global carbon emissions. He also said Bangladesh has no obligations for reduction in carbon emissions. Despite that, as per the plan of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, the country is heading towards a target of using 40% green energy by 2041. Vice-Chancellor of Dhaka University, Dr. A.S.M. Maqsood Kamal, presided over the conference. Prime Minister's SDG Affairs Coordinator Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah al-Khamenei has led prayers today at a memorial ceremony for late President Ibrahim Raisi and his entourage, who died in a helicopter crash on Sunday. The caskets of Raisi and the 7 others who died in the crash, including Foreign Minister Hossein Amir Abdullahian, were draped in Iranian flags with their pictures on them at Tehran University. The streets of the area were completely closed to the traffic, with heavy security measures, several security checkpoints and tens of thousands of people. Guests at the memorial event included Hamas's political leader Ismail Haniyeh, Turkey's Vice President and Foreign Minister, the head of the Russian Duma, the Iraqi Prime Minister, and representatives of the Taliban from Afghanistan. Following today's procession, Raisi's body will be taken to his hometown of Mashhad in the country's northeast, where he will be buried after funeral rites at the Imam Reza Shrine. The remains of others who were killed in the crash will also be sent to their hometowns to be buried. The leaders of Spain, Norway, and Ireland have said their countries will formally recognize Palestine as a state next week for the sake of peace in the Middle East, prompting Israel to immediately recall its envoys. Norway's Prime Minister Jonas Gahr Støre said on Wednesday that a two-state solution was in Israel's best interest and the recognition of Palestinian statehood would come as of May the 28th. There cannot be peace in the Middle East if there is no recognition, he said in Oslo. Ireland's Prime Minister Simon Harris made a similar announcement in Dublin, as did Spain's Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez in Madrid, to applause in Parliament. Meanwhile, Gaza's health ministry says 62 people have been killed and 138 injured in the latest 24-hour reporting period. Israel has carried out attacks across Gaza, including a strike on the Nusayrat refugee camp that killed 10 people, including a pregnant woman. The Pentagon says none of the 569 tons of humanitarian assistance that arrived at a US-built pier in Gaza so far has been distributed to starving Palestinians. The UN's World Food Programme warns humanitarian operations in Gaza are near collapse, and if food does not enter soon in large quantities, famine-like conditions will spread. Russia has begun the first stage of tactical nuclear weapons drills involving Iskander and Kinzhal missiles in areas bordering Ukraine. The Russian Ministry of Defense said on Tuesday that the drills were taking place in its southern military district, which borders and includes parts of Ukraine that Moscow has annexed since its full-scale invasion began in February 2022. The ministry did not give the exact location of the exercises. Belarus, where Russia said last year it was deploying tactical nuclear weapons, is also expected to take part. Since launching its full-scale invasion of Ukraine in February 2022, Moscow has repeatedly talked up its arsenal of nuclear weapons and its readiness to deploy them in the face of a security threat. Nuclear analysts say the exercises are designed as a warning signal by Russia's President Vladimir Putin to deter Ukraine's Western allies, which have provided weapons and intelligence to Kyiv. The US says Russia launched a satellite last week which it believes may be capable of attacking other such probes. Pentagon spokesman Brigadier General Pat Ryder on Tuesday evening said Russia launched a satellite into low Earth orbit that they assess is likely a counter-space weapon. Russia has not publicly commented on the issue. Moscow and Washington, two global rivals, have repeatedly clashed over space weapons issue at the UN in recent weeks, with both sides accusing each other of seeking to militarize space. Earlier on Tuesday, Russia's foreign ministry spokesman Maria Zakharova claimed the US was seeking to turn space into an arena for military confrontation. A number of military experts have long warned that space is likely to be the next frontier of warfare in an increasingly technology-dependent world. Now weather. A low-pressure area has formed over Southwest Bay and adjoining West Central Bay, and it is likely to intensify further. Meanwhile, Met Office, in its weather forecast till 6 p.m. tomorrow, said rain or thunder showers accompanied by temporary gusty or squally wind is likely to occur at one or two places over Rangpur, Rajshahi, Dhaka, Mymensingh, Khulna, Borishal, Chattogram and Sylhet divisions. Night and day temperature may rise slightly over the country, said the Met Office. On now to sports news. Bosundhara Kings became only the second Bangladeshi club to complete a domestic treble as they beat defending champions Mohammedan Sporting Club by 2-1 in the final of the Federation Cup today. The Kings have now completed the set of Premier League, the Independence Cup and the Federation Cup for the 2023-24 season. Sheikh Russell KC was the first team to complete a domestic treble back in 2012-13 season. The first half of the match ended goalless at the Rafiquddin Bhuiya Stadium in Mymensingh. Emmanuel Sunday gave the lead for Mohammedan Sporting Club in the 64th minute of the match. Kings midfielder Miguel Ferreira scored in the 87th minute to equalise and take the game to extra time. Substitute Zahid Hussain scored the winning goal for Bosundhara in the extra time of the game. To end the news, here again are the main points. Buddha Purnima celebrated across the country, with President Mohammad Shahabuddin urging all, regardless of caste and religion, to work for